Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls vs. Ghost Media's Spooky Talk with Madison Smith from Madison Paranormal. You can find Spooky Talk every other Sunday, 6 Eastern, 5 Central, right here live on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Be sure to join in the live interactive chat by going to Spreaker.com or downloading the Spreaker app for all devices.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host, Madison Smith.
Hello everyone, and I'm Madison Smith, and I'd like to welcome you all to Spooky Talk with Maddie. Tonight's guest is someone I first started watching on YouTube and on Paranormal Lockdown. I first met him on a tour at the Villisca Axe Murder House, where we hit it off, and we have investigated Malvern Manor. I would like to introduce to everyone Johnny Hauser, and the man, the myth, the legend. There you go.
That's quite the introduction.
I know, right?
I think the listeners need to know the conversation and the life advice I was giving you before we went live. How you should just quit school and become a professional ghost hunter. Hey, why not? Just go for it.
Who needs school when you have softball?
Exactly. I give great advice. So if you ever have any life questions, just hit me up. I won't steer you wrong.
Yeah. See, guys, I'm going places. Not college, but places.
There you go. Everyone I knew that went to college is not doing anything that they went to college for. So just like write down a bunch of stuff, just randomly pick something and go for that.
Works for me.
There you go. How you been?
Not bad. And yourself?
Oh, living the Villisca dream. Like I had a bunch of stuff, bunch of events lined up. I was really excited. One was in England, and all those got canceled, and I just haven't booked anything since. So I've just been sitting at the Axe Murder House, like doing day tours, old school.
Well, if you ever need someone to come down there.
Absolutely.
I'm willing.
Yeah. We could get you a lawnmower and you could mow the yard. And there's a bunch of poison ivy that needs taken out of there.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
It's got your name written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the glamorous side of ghost. Yes. The glamorous side of ghost hunting.
Yeah, guys, it's going to be great. Don't worry. It's going to be great.
Right.
I'll live stream the whole thing.
When does your school start?
That's a good question.
You don't need to know.
Yeah, let's just not worry about that right now, guys.
Yeah, that's like depressing talk.
It is.
Yeah, gross. Hated school.
Trust me, I still do.
Yeah, right. So have you been busy?
Yeah, I've been keeping myself busy.
Yeah. Hitting some investigations?
Kind of. I've been going down to my main home, Mm-hmm. And yeah, for fun.
Good deal. That's good to know.
Yeah, alright. So, if anyone has any questions in the comments, go ahead and ask. But after that, we are going to start beginning the questioning.
Oh, the questioning. This sounds scary.
And it should be. Okay, now.
Have you been watching Criminal Minds for a long time, so you know how to interrogate?
Let's just say, if I had a body, I would know how to hide it.
You know what?
You're just over here like...
I just did a group of Girl Scouts getting their detective badges at the Axe House.
Oh,
and
great.
every one of these little kids had a shirt that said, "Never trust the Girl Scouts. We know where to hide the bodies."
Oh my god.
So I tell every young boy that comes through there, it's like, bro, watch out. These women aren't playing anymore. Like they're watching the true crime shows. They all know how to get away with it.
Man. The next thing you know, like a week later, hi, you've been suspected for a murder?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it included a Ghostbuster figure and a baseball bat. Do you know anything about this? I have no clue what you could possibly mean. I have never heard of such a thing.
Right, exactly. I guarantee you already have at least 2 or 3 spots where you'd hide a dead body in your head.
Oh, trust me. There's more. Don't worry. No, just kidding, though. Like, I would never do such a thing. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I did it, I'd literally fess up to it in a matter of minutes. I'd be like, I'm sorry. Like, I'd break down.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But you're a ghost hunter, too, so then you could, like, apologize afterwards.
True. Be like, yeah, by the way, sorry for, kinda, running you over for that, limited edition Ghostbuster figure. I'll leave some expensive flowers and chocolates on your grave if that makes up for it.
What if the only way that made up for it was you had to leave that figure at their grave? Would you do it?
Depends.
Oh, jeez.
Depends on which one.
I got you.
If it's a rare Winston one, I'll take it. If it's an Egon, I'll probably still gonna take it because Egon's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a Peter, I have enough Peters for good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how
I've
it's gonna roll out.
I've never watched Ghost Hunters or Ghostbusters.
Get out.
No, I have.
Just a little bit. Okay.
I have, absolutely. I just wanted to get your reaction.
Okay, good. Good.
I've seen it, not a fan.
Sir? You have a problem.
Just trying to get a reaction again. Okay.
I'm
just gonna shut up now.
Okay, one more question before we actually begin. Have you watched the Ghostbuster cartoons?
I don't believe so. I've watched the first Ghost. I've watched the old school Ghostbusters, and then the remake with the all female team. I enjoyed it, and I've seen a lot of people. Oh, the one with the whole female team's not. I thought it was good. So what?
Yeah, like the female Ghostbusters answer the call.
Yeah,
I think it was pretty good, but I can see where people didn't like it particularly, just because the originals they didn't use as much special effects as in Answer the Call,
and
that's the name for it. If you're wondering.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, it's called Ghostbusters Answer the Call. It was it's not called the female Ghostbusters. Don't worry.
Yeah,
if it was. But yeah.
And see, I'm like super nerd when it comes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I could go on and on and on with every single one of them, but yeah.
Then I'm over here like, did you know?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's great. But if you
Exactly.
want to, I have all 7 seasons of The Real Ghostbusters, which is the first cartoon, and then I have the
Oh,
Extreme Ghostbusters on Hulu.
okay.
And then I also have a lot of comics.
Extreme Ghostbusters, is that like remember that
Figures. So, the Extreme Ghostbusters, it was marketed towards teenagers, so it has this.
Oh, that's a cool action figure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to brush up on my Ghostbusters stuff. Oh, we lost Maddie. Maddie's gone. I think maybe my talking bad about Ghostbusters like just sent her into a frenzy. Okay, Maddie. I love Ghostbusters. Oh, okay, she's back. I love Ghostbusters. I won't say it again.
I heard that whole thing. I was still here.
See, I feel like you heard me saying that I didn't see the cartoons, and then you were just like, I'm done with this conversation. You did the G Crew exit. That just
No.
mid conversation.
One show. Why would I leave the listeners like that? That would be so mean.
You got to end on a high note. That's a G Crew motto. Yeah. And you don't need to say goodbye. Like goodbye is just long and boring. You just stop. You just exit out. It's fun.
Pretty fun. But yeah, if you need any if you need to know the basics about Ghostbusters or any of the lore behind stuff, I got you.
Okay, sounds good.
But I do suggest watching the Extreme Ghostbusters, though they did Slimer and Egon dirty. The storyline is amazing. That's all I've got to say.
Okay. Okay, I'll jump into that.
Yeah. Plus the theme song being like a rock kind of interpretation of it.
Ah, they redid it, huh?
That sold me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But moving on past the Ghostbusters, okay? Now real questioning begins before I get distracted again.
Okay. Whew. Let me, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. How long have you been investigating, and when did you first figure out you wanted to?
I've been investigating for 500 years, and I actually invented ghost hunting. Is that believable?
Sure.
Okay. No, I don't know. Like, I've always just been drawn to it. Like, and I feel like this is everybody's story. Just like from a little kid, stuff had to happen in my house, but it wasn't all ghost stuff. It was like I was very into aliens, and I'm still very, very into UFOs and aliens and crypto and like everything coming paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up at the Blisk Axe murder house like 20 years ago and took a job there. I'm a lover of history as well. And the very first person I ever met in the whole game was Chad Kalick, was with Paranormal State. And from there, I met Ryan and Katrina and Heather and all those guys. And I mean, it just seemed like boom, boom, boom. Next show, next show, next show. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I ended up here, really.
Love that. So feeding off of that question, what is your favorite cryptoid? Or cryptid?
I'm going to have to go with the Van Meter monster, just because I want to shamelessly plug something here. So the Van Meter monster was this large, like, kind of like Mothman, way before Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a giant winged creature that had a body of a man, a beak, like 3 talons for feet, like toes, like any bird, and it had a large light protruding from its forehead, and it terrorized this small town in Iowa, Van Meter, Iowa, for like a week. And so the people that came forward witnessing this creature were prominent people in the town, the banker, the principal of the school, the sheriff, you know. They all ended up forming like a posse. They chased this thing up to the mine shaft in town, took a shot at it. 2 others dropped down from the trees, ran into the mine, and they dynamited it shut, which kind of ruined the economy there. But we went and did a documentary on that right before lockdown, and it was the idea was just to tell the story because it was a rare, kind of unknown cryptid story.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's like, we're not going to find the Van Meter monster. Like, get real, you know? So let's just go camp out where this mine was. And the stuff we had happen that night was just unbelievable. It was the weirdest, most terrifying night I've ever encountered. And we just wrapped up the filming of that. It's all been edited, and it's called 1903. And I think it's premiering at the Van Meter Festival there in Van Meter, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the things, like, we, at one point, we're right by a train track, and the ground's shaking, the train's honking, you can hear it coming, it's about ready to come around the corner. A bunch of the guys jump down to get B-roll shots of the train, and I'm like, better get off the tracks, they're going to think you're trying to kill yourself or something, like, film from up here, you know? And all of a sudden, all of that stopped. And we just kind of stood there and looked at each other like, what? There was no train whatsoever at all. And then right about that time, I look up in the sky and I see this light moving through the sky. My son was on the film crew. He gets his 4K camera locked in on it, follows it, and all of a sudden it disappears. We saw probably like 5 UFOs throughout that time. A phantom train, evidently. We put a microphone down in the mine area. There's like women singing and chanting on the recording. We're like way away from anyone. I was just so bizarre. I can't even describe it.
Yeah, no thank you. That's a pass for me.
And everybody there was just like, dude, I was so ready to go home. But we had a girl, Shelby, her job was just to take photographs of like behind the scenes of us filming. And she was just going to stay for like an hour or two. But she stayed till like morning because she was too afraid to leave. And she's like just this girl that doesn't do any of this stuff. And I'm just staring at her. I'm like, are you hearing this? Did you hear that train? Are you seeing these lights? Because am I just crazy? She's like, nope, this is happening. So I'm excited. I'm so excited for that to come out, for people to see it.
It sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
Absolutely.
And then where can people find this at?
I think it's going to be shown at the Van Meter Monster Festival they have in Van Meter, Iowa, and then it's probably just going to end up on Amazon.
Okay. So for anyone who's interested in that, go check it out when it comes out, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing, for sure. But that's probably my favorite cryptid. I always like the Momo Missouri Monster just because it's fun to say Momo. And back in the 60s, when they were seeing this Bigfoot, basically, the locals tried saying it was just a bunch of hippies in the woods. And I love that story.
I can't even say anything. Like, why would there be hippies in the woods?
Yeah, that's not no Bigfoot. That's just a bunch of stinky hippies in the woods, is what they said. It's like, what? Evidently that happens a lot. I don't know.
Alrighty. Nice to know that, guys.
Right.
My question is, has that happened more than once to where they're so confident about it? Like, oh yeah, there's just hippies in the woods. Don't worry about it.
Right. And like with the axe murder house, I was recently just re-going through a lot of the old detective notes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one was talking about the mirrors being covered in the house, why the killer did that. And one of the detectives said he thought it was for superstitious reasons because you don't want to see yourself in a mirror naked when there's dead bodies in the house because that's bad luck. And I'm thinking that's happened so many times in the past that that's become a superstition. Like, what? Weird.
Okay then.
Yeah. So that was one of my new finds through the old detective notes.
I've heard of superstition, never cross a black cat, or, break them. 7 years of bad luck, but I've never heard of that one. That's interesting.
Some cultures, a black cat is actually good luck. So it's all in perception.
Yeah, honestly, black cats are black cats,
Yeah, it's just a cat.
They're cute, what can I say?
Just a cat. I think our minds, the mind is the most dangerous weapon of our entire bodies.
Yeah. All right, so we have 3 questions in the comments, all from Darren Butt. So the first one would be, any new experiments coming out?
Yes. There's absolutely one that delves a lot with frequencies in the paranormal, because I think frequencies have a lot to do with it. I don't want to give too much away because it's still we're still working with it.
Mm-hmm.
But so far we've had really good results with it. So do ghosts have eardrums? Because voices are just vibrations. That's all they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they resonate around your eardrums and in your head, and they make a noise. And that's what a voice is. So why are we talking to ghosts? Do they have eardrums? Do they have vocal cords? How do they talk to us? Can we just send a vibration from one point to another point, and it becomes a voice from the ghost? And I'll leave it at that. And we've been experimenting with it, and we've gotten some pretty incredible results from it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Trying different. I think we have to try tons of weird experiments. Otherwise, we're just going to be at a standstill in this field. We've got to keep pushing the envelope and trying stupid stuff and coming up with weird theories, just to keep it moving along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. But, that's really cool in general, just that thought. Never thought of that. That's, a really good perspective to have on it as well.
Well, I sit here day after day and I have these weird random thoughts, the ghosts being trapped in a building. So if that's the case, then if a man hung himself on the 3rd story of a building and that building's now demolished, is there a ghost 40 foot up in the air walking around? And we all know now that the entire cosmos is expanding outwards. They're afraid of what they call the Big Rip, that in 150 billion years, the entire fabric of space and time will be ripped apart and everything will just cease to exist. So we know that the Earth is not even where it was 100 years ago. So if you want to go that deep into a ghost being trapped in a house, well, that house wasn't even, I mean, it gets on some rabbit hole type stuff once I start going down that.
Mm-hmm. Never heard of that before. To be honest, I live like in a bubble. I never know anything until someone's like, "Oh, by the way," I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Well, that's the great thing about this field is we don't know anything. You know, like we have a few contraptions that we think work. Do they? We don't know. Probably some seem to, but largely this field is a big who knows. And I hope it stays that way. I hope it's never a science, because when it becomes a science, then it's written about in a textbook, and then there's protocols to what we have to do, and we have to go by this certain thing, and it's taught in a classroom. And I love having weird people in different locations doing crazy things every weekend. I think that's more fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next question would be, any new locations you are looking to get into?
Let's see. There's so many I want to. I'd love to get out to Salem, check out that area, like the witch trials and stuff. I really want to go to historic spots. I mean, because if nothing happens and you don't get anything, you're still in this really cool piece of American history, you know. There's a Camp Iowata. I would love to get into that place. It's an old alien cult from back in the day. It'd be fun just to see what's happening there.
An alien cult?
Yep.
Sorry.
The guy thought the aliens told him the true meaning of life. So he bought this big plot of land and made like the 7 wonders of the world with like tunnels underground, and they would channel aliens, basically. I have a giant mirror from the place that they would channel aliens through the mirror, and a bunch of cassette tapes of them channeling aliens. It's pretty interesting to listen to. One of them's like, this guy's like, everybody's gone. Nobody's left here. No human ears should ever hear what I'm about to say. And he starts going into this, the world is doomed from... It's just so creepy and so weird. I love it.
That does sound interesting.
Right. Humans are weird.
Yeah, there's... Like, everyone is weird in their own way. I'm just going to say that now.
And, okay, so I can remember... I think the world was getting weirder and crazier. I can remember not seeing anyone ever like out loud talking to themselves in like public. Like that never was a thing when I was a kid. And now I can't go anywhere without seeing at least 4 people having a full blown conversation with themselves out loud. And I'm like, do I do this too?
Love that.
Am I the only sane one here? Like, what is happening? Why is everyone talking to themselves out loud? And it's like, oh, this shampoo looks pretty good. Maybe I shouldn't get that one. I do need a comb, though. It's like, you realize you're speaking out loud, right? What is making this planet crazier? Is it the water? The air? Kardashians? I think the Kardashians, for sure.
I know that you not just call them out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They like they know who I am. They can.
I wonder.
I'm sure they're nice people, but yeah, I don't care. They're from a whole different planet.
Like, honestly, I talk to myself from time to time, but I don't have a full-out conversation, you know?
Yeah, I don't get it. I have no idea. And I mean, there's this lady in town for a while. She would just stand outside and like flip everybody off that drove by. Why? What is wrong with you? I don't know. Maybe the paranormal. Everybody's investigating, and all the ghosts are like,
You gotta find somewhere to hide. Let's just...
yeah, perfect.
Perfect home. Nice and homey.
There we go.
Hope you don't mind. All right. And the final question, I believe, from the chat? Nope, one more after this. All right. So, what are your views on Tesla coils, and do they really change the environment around you?
I believe so. You know, I think that some of Tesla's stuff was pretty interesting, you know. And I'd love to get back to using old school stuff. Like I've been on the search for a reel-to-reel recorder from like the 70s with the tape. I'd like to start taking that in and using that for EVPs. You know, get some old Ed and Lorraine type stuff going again.
Honestly, when I get older, I want a whole room just like the Ed and Lorraine house, man. Like, I think it'd be so fun. Just be like, hey, demons, how's it going?
And I love now that, like, everybody's like Ed and Lorraine are the couple, you know? Like, it used to be Johnny Cash and June Cash. You know, I want to love like Johnny and June. Now it's Ed and Lorraine. They're just the greatest. And my daughter is so obsessed with Lorraine Warren. And I'm like, you know, there was a show that she was on quite a few episodes, right? And she's like, what? All the old Paranormal State episodes. So I just got on Amazon and started buying season after season. She was like, I can't believe it. Lorraine Warren is right there investigating with them. It's like, yeah, those were the glory days of ghost hunting.
Love that. And then I believe that, wasn't it somebody's birthday? It was like 2 days ago. I can't remember whose birthday it was. I was gonna like be like, happy birthday, but I can't remember.
Somebody we know?
Yeah, I think.
At least, I don't know. I hope I'm not missing somebody's birthday. Happy birthday, you.
Happy birthday.
Guy, girl, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, they, them.
There we go. Perfect.
Happy birthday. No, I can just imagine my dad rolling back on this like, Maddie, it was so-and-so. I'm going to be like, oh, really me?
I'm actually just scrolling through my Facebook really quick here on the birthdays. There's a lot of birthdays.
Not my dad texting me that it's your son. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Happy birthday. Or happy late birthday, per se.
Happy late birthday.
Yeah! That took a while.
Wow, it just sunk into my head. Yeah, yesterday was my son's birthday. Jeez.
Yeah, I see that close to someone that we both knew. I was like,
wow.
And I wanted to shout it out. I was like, happy birthday! Whoever it was, you know? And then, me being me, I had to freaking forget. Like usual.
Yeah, he turned the big 4 yesterday. I had a nice little birthday party and balloons and cake and all that good stuff. Jeez. Tons of presents. My mind is just like been this whole summer. I don't know what it is.
My mind's been like that for a long time. I used to be so
Yeah.
smart. Now my head's just gone.
Yeah, I hear ya. That's for sure.
Like my brain cells have just disappeared over the years. They're gone.
Breathing in all that dust and stuff from old creepy locations.
Yeah. My brain cells are just gonna leave the building off a little piece of dust. Like, bye. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun in math class. Have fun.
Where are you investigating next?
Ooh, Hinsdale, as I know of Hinsdale.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
But yeah, funsies. Where are you going to be investigating next?
The only thing I have even set up is an event. Dustin Perry and Chad Lindbergh, Malvern, like in April, I believe. I don't know. Like, honestly, like I'm at the Axe Murder House every single day, and I just, whenever I have time off, like I just want to do normal things. And then, because I'm just surrounded by it 24/7.
Understandable.
So I'd love to get into a new place and just go for it again, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If any, my ultimate would be the Amityville house, for sure. I'd love just to stay the night in that place, or the Conjuring house.
I want to go there. Like, wouldn't that just be so cool getting in there?
Yeah. And I actually met a guy who got a few hours in the Amityville house. It was, and I was like, how'd you do this? Like, what? How? And he was showing me pictures of him in Ronald DeFeo's bedroom and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, you really were. This is amazing.
You're just fangirling over it, and the guy's just like, it's really nothing.
Yeah, I was just, he only had a few hours in, but it was like, man, just to walk through that house would be unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. All right. What question were we on? Here we are. Do you feel that using powder is still a good tactic for getting footsteps?
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, I love that old school stuff. I mean, throw some powder down, see if anybody walks over top of it. I just seen a documentary on the Conjuring house where some powder was left up there, and they tried that. I've never had it work personally. Have you ever had it work?
Never tried it. I just don't want to make the mess.
Yeah. I can totally, and I mean, there's been many times at the Axe house, powder all over the floor, and I'm just like, yeah, come on. It's hard to clean up. But, I mean, what else can you use? That's the perfect medium for it.
Someone get on that. Something that, like, it's like powder, but it's way easier to clean up, like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Get on something. Someone get on that.
I can't even sand. Sand would be horrible. Yeah.
Man, what would be like a good substitute for that? The only thing that I can think of is like using like some sort of baking powder thing and just picking it up with Play-Doh. Being like, here you go. And then just vacuum up the rest. All
Bring
clean.
a little portable vacuum.
Yeah. You know, just put it in the back of the Jeep, be like, guess you brought a portable vacuum and a Ouija board.
What do you think of Ouija boards?
I think that they're cool, but I still think that they should be used with caution. They shouldn't just be used as like most stores do. They shouldn't be in the toy aisle next to all the board games. They should be in a kind of separate thing. But, you know, yeah, like I have a lot of them. I have a pink one over here and everything. That's fun. It's a pink one.
Oh, wow, you really have a pink Ouija board.
Yeah, I have a pink
awesome.
one, Stranger Things, the original, the French version. Then I have a couple custom-made ones. Then I also have a Ghostbuster one, which is also custom-made.
And you aren't possessed yet or anything?
Honestly, if I was possessed, I wouldn't even be surprised. I don't think anyone would. They'd be like, well, that explains a lot, don't it?
Yeah, I was always on the fence because I played them when I was a little kid, but I was always the person that pushed the planchette to scare my cousin, you know. But I was still kind of like, I don't know about these things. And then my buddy Rick Schreck built the world's largest Ouija board. He's got thousands and thousands of them in his house. He doesn't even truly believe in ghosts. He's like, yeah, I've never had anything happen. Like, okay. Well, if it was, you would be the guy that it would happen to.
But yeah, my opinion on them, as long as you use them correctly and not like a board game or like a toy, I'm good with it.
I see no difference with that and going in with a digital recorder and saying, is anyone here? Tell me who you are. I mean, it's both are just opening that doorway of communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the Ouija board, there's a lot of things that could, quote unquote, go wrong or not be evidence per se, since there's this, I can't remember what it's called. There was something like scientifically researched. It's where you believe in something and then your hands do it, but you don't think that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
And, you know, when they were made as like fortune-telling party games for people to do for fun. Like, and then in the 80s, they turned into Satan's doorway, evidently.
Apparently.
With all the horror movies.
Mm-hmm. And then they got bad rep, and yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty fun. But honestly, I like how it went from fortune telling, and because so many people were dying at the time, people were like, well, I want to contact a loved one that's already dead. That these people literally had to take wood and just wrote letters on it and went, you know what? Here you go, $20. Talk to your dead husband.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's where it came from. People needed, like, back when they did table tipping, spirit photography, automatic writing, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Which, honestly, table turning, that takes a long time. It's like A, B, C, after an hour.
Yeah.
X. Is it Z?
Is it? No, it's not.
Is it a yes? Please.
Oh.
Please just give us an answer.
I think Ouija boards are nice pieces of art, though.
Yeah. Some of them are like really unique, and I really like them. That's why I like collecting them in a way.
Yeah. I was going to just start lining my walls with them. Just have like wallpaper Ouija board everywhere. That'd be cool.
Honestly, what I'd like to do one day is grab some excess wood, glue it together, sand it down, like paint it.
Yeah, make your
And
own.
kind of make my own.
I've thought about that too. It'd be cool.
Like all I've ever done with wood and paint is make a little frog. So, make a little frog feet with your board. Hit the wood green. Stain it green. It'll be fine, guys. What do you think, Ghost? Ribbit, ribbit? As we thought.
You can make the little frog into a planchette. Just drill a hole through it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, see?
Sure, we have a craft now.
Yeah, you can be making millions.
Like, I don't know, I have like this weird obsession with frogs. I have a frog clock in the other room. And when you set it off, like when the alarm goes off, it just ribbits. I found it at Goodwill. I got attached to it. Next thing you know, we brought it home. It was great. And it's not even a frog. It's a freaking toad.
So what got you in? Like, how did you get in this whole business, paranormal? Like, was it just from watching shows, or do you have experiences, or?
Okay, so when I was little, I had a few experiences, but it was mostly just, like, so when I was little, in the downstairs basement, we had this huge TV, and because my father was always on his chair, watching his own TV in the living room, I'd usually just go downstairs, turn on something, play the Wii sometimes, living the best life as I could as a 5-year-old, okay? But then I discovered, like, all these shows, and I was like, okay, I can get used to this. And then I started to be like, wait, stuff like this has happened to me. Is this paranormal? Coinkydink? What do you think? So then I was like, you know what? And then I started watching in the living room, and then my dad was like, you know what? Do you want to go on a real one? I'm like, yeah.
Best dad ever.
Yeah, like he just saw an ad for it, and then he was like, I think Manny would like this. And look at me now, addicted.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like
There's no backing out now, guys.
Yep. And your dad is like the greatest dad ever. Like, I love that dude. So when you started doing it, like, what were your friends thinking that you went to, like your school friends and stuff? Are they like, this is weird, or are they interested in it?
Bold to assume that I had friends. Okay. So most of my friends were good with it. There was only like 2 of them that were like, oh my god, you're gonna go to hell for this. And I'm like, might as well die a legend. Like, I just kind of, like, obviously, if they weren't going to stick behind me, I was just gonna, like, I didn't leave them behind. They still reach out to me sometimes. We still talk, but, they just got really triggered by it for some reason. But my other friends were like, oh, good for you. Just, like, they would ask questions like, so, do you think you could, like, investigate my house? And yeah, they would just tell me a bunch of stuff.
So, do they get mad, like, if they want to do something with you on a weekend and you're like, nah, I'm investigating, or I have an event?
Usually no, because investigations aren't like every single weekend for me. Not anymore, should I say specifically. So usually if they want to be like, oh, you want to spend the night or want to go do this with me, I usually just be like, oh, yeah, sure. Because it's usually softball that has me being like, oh, no, sorry, can't be there. Bye, guys. But yeah, it's fun.
That's interesting. It's like when I was growing up and really into this, I had no idea that people actually ghost hunt. I was just, like, at the time, life mysteries of the universe and the unexplained books, and then I would just like ghost hunt my own house, and then it wasn't a long time later I realized, wow, people go to other people's houses and do this, and then all of a sudden everybody has matching black shirts with acronyms, like there's teams that do this, you know.
I wonder.
In the very first event that I ever went to, they're doing a lecture like the dangers of ghost hunting, and it said never, ever, 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 ever investigate alone. And I'm like, yep, I already screwed that one up. And they're like, never, ever, ever let a kid investigate. It's like, well, I guess I broke both of those rules.
Okay, I guess I'll just leave now, guys.
And I'm like, what little kid? What kid does not play with Ouija boards, do Bloody Mary, go like cemeteries, and it's awesome when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And I can see the alone thing, I guess. I don't know if somebody's like, well, what if you got hurt, like fell through a floor? I'm like, I'm not going to walk on a floor that I'm going to fall through. One, like, little bit of common sense, I guess. But
yeah,
I've always just done it. I've investigated with a lot of teams, and always will investigate with different teams, but I still love just investigating by myself.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to like stray off just so it's quieter. You have more like, what's the word?
Yeah, that like the Axe House. You know, I've done over 400 overnights alone in there. Mm-hmm. It's just like, and that's kind of started because a lot of my friends are idiots and they just screw around, you know. But like, I want to know if I hear a footstep. I know for 100% it's not me and it's not anyone else. Like, if I hear something, I know for a fact that's like something's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the better parts of investigating alone. So if you hear something downstairs, you're like, well, instead of being like, oh, that could be so-and-so, you can just be like, nope, no one's here. That's a ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah. Okay. So, what was your first paranormal experience that you've had?
Oh. Let me think. Probably. Well, I mean, we moved into this house and stuff would start happening all the time. But it's like a lot of doors opening, closing, objects moving, chairs rocking. I really can't pinpoint the very first thing that I was just like, what was that? And I've just always been weird and always been drawn to it. Probably one of the most profound ones that really kind of hooked me was I was laying in my bed one night and I had my hand up on my head, like, and the back of my hand was touching the wall. And that's just how I always slept. And I was starting to doze off and I woke up. I felt like something like totally grabbed my leg and yanked me out of bed. And it, like, I felt it and I like opened my eyes. I'm like, what was that? And I was half out of the bed. And then another time we had this gigantic cabinet that like got pushed over on top of me. Like, pictures would like fall off my wall and just be like down at the very bottom, but there would be glass clear across from the picture frame, clear across my room, like stuff like that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then I remember, so a couple of my friends came over. My dad was really into it, you know, this house, all this stuff's happening. So it got to the point where friends would come over to experience the ghost. And one day I was had a guitar, and I was playing guitar in my room, and I had what they call a wah pedal, which sweeps frequencies, kind of. And I had it in an open position, and I started hearing voices come out of the amplifier. And so we started asking it questions, and we recorded it. And it was like us basically doing a spirit box session, like in the late 80s. So we decided to take this amp upstairs to where the most haunted spot was, turn it on, instantly get out right off the bat. And
Love that.
Everybody was just like flying down the stairs to get back downstairs. And this is like, we were all laughing and just super pumped up. It's like, this is awesome.
How the horror movie should have started.
Yeah, right.
Roll the credits, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, so I've had pictures fall off my wall. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's experienced things. It's great, you know. Everyone in my house has experienced something.
Mm-hmm.
But with the picture frames, it's never a picture of the family or my dogs. It's always just me. Like, pictures of me as a baby, pictures of me when I was little, like, picture day pictures. It's always me that falls off the wall.
Wow. I wonder what that means.
Gee, I wonder. Man, I wonder.
They know you.
Yeah.
Recognize you.
Yeah, and then even when people come over to my house, like, I wasn't even home. We were going to Baraboo Inn, and someone had to come over and get one of the dogs. So she went inside, she took the dogs out, and by the time that she went back out, because she parked her car in the garage, her kids were like, there was somebody in the garage, man. And the woman, she's a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, oh, no, that don't exist. No. So I'm laughing in the car about it, and I already know who it was and why they were doing it.
Mm.
Which wasn't about it, obviously. But
yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, this whole field is so fun. So neat. I love all the people in it. You know, it's just like all us weirdos talking about weird stuff, doing weird things.
Yeah. Man. All right. So, what is your favorite experience? Could be at Velisca in general, or it could be like anywhere.
I would have to go with the Van Meter Monster. With what we were talking about earlier. That whole night was just incredible. With all this, I mean, it was just so strange. I can't even describe it. I can't wait for that to come out for you guys to see it. That ranks number one for sure for me.
Mm-hmm. And then for Velisca, what would be your favorite experience there?
Well, it just happened a couple days ago. I was sitting in the kitchen waiting on the overnights to come, and we just got through doing day tours, and I hear, Dad? Like, agree somebody left their little kid in here? Probably terrified. So I go running upstairs. There's nothing in the house. Nobody around at all, period. And that was just like, wow, that was pretty cool. Because it was clear as day. Dad? That was probably my favorite one so far in Velisca.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So before we start wrapping this up, would you like to give out your social medias or where people can find you at?
Yeah, Facebook, Johnny Hauser, Instagram Johnny Hauser, Snapchat Johnny Hauser, TikTok Johnny Hauser, everything Johnny Hauser. So it's just my name. I've been lucky to find accounts open where I can just have it as my name. So find me, add me, keep in touch.
All right. Well, Johnny, I'm starting to see the Shadow Man right in the corner telling me that our time is almost over. I'd really like to thank you for coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule for coming on and chatting with me and my listeners here on Spoopy Talk. So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now for all my listeners out there, I'd really like to say thank you for being with me tonight. My next show will be August 29th, and my special guest will be Rachel? I cannot pronounce names to save my life. Rachel Stratton, I think. I'm gonna get so much.
It's Rochelle.
As you can tell, I cannot pronounce names to save my life. Thank you for that. Thank you.